Hi everyone, and thanks for tuning in to our latest video for our Hello Baby Girl collection. This is a beautiful collection that you can use for your baby girl. It marks the milestones. If you're looking to do a milestone album for that first year, it has so many elements that capture those things. First walk, first haircut, first tooth loss, first tooth coming in. There are so many things that you're going to be able to create with this kit that you're going to love it. Now, if you've tuned in before, you will see that we did have a Hello Baby Boy collection. In case you hadn't tuned in before, there is also an exact replica of this kit, but in a boy's version with obviously boys' colors and slanted towards a boy. So if you are looking for a boy collection, that's available too. Before we get into seeing each and every individual element in paper, I just wanted to quickly reiterate that our bundled collection, when you purchase it as the bundle, you do receive all 5 coordinated products with this kit. That includes our FQB, our Hello Baby Girl 2, our Hello Baby Girl Solids Extra Paper Pack, our Hello Baby Girl Talk Alpha, and our Hello Baby Girl Lil Bits Additional Elements Pack. Nothing in here is duplicates. You will not receive any duplicate items in here, and you do save 20% versus purchasing each of these items individually. So let's go in and have a peek and see all that this kit has to offer. There is gorgeous colors. Mary Fran always takes painstaking effort in order to make sure that the colors are just so well matched together. They coordinate so incredibly well. And you can see from the elements, beautiful little bib, and here it comes background papers. The background papers are just gorgeous. There are so many options. You have that white space in there if you're looking to create something, if you like that look. You have stuff like that. As well, you do have other colors. So if you're looking for something a little more colorful, a little darker maybe, you want some contrasting background papers, you want some complementing background papers, you have the full gamut. You also have these great border papers, which obviously has a large blank space on top that is perfect. You can create a scrapbook layout or mini album page or card so easily by just choosing this paper. You have this blank space up top to place in a photo, place in a main sentiment, add some of the other elements to it, whatever direction you want to go. But this gives you your starting point. This is a perfect paper in order to say, okay, let's use this as a starting point and build from here. It is a fabulous paper for that. And there's a few options. So in case on this one, as you see, this is all about Hello Baby Girl. If you wanted something a little more simplistic and you wanted to write in maybe a blank sentiment tag that we give you, so then that way you can personalize it maybe with their name or their date or whatever it is, you have that option as well. So as you can see, there's variations in things. There's damasks here that give you a nice, more elegant feel, and that was kind of the point of this baby kit. If you go into our store, we do have several different baby kits, whether you're looking for something that's a little more whimsical, you're looking for something what we didn't have is something that's a little more sophisticated. And that is the point of this baby kit, is this does lean toward a little more sophisticated baby. We hope that you're liking what you see and you can see all the creative possibilities. Like, look at these florals. How gorgeous is this? And this pastel I actually used in my card making idea, which I'll show you at the end just to give you a little inspiration. But you'll see how wonderfully that blends in. By itself, it looks like it's maybe a little more muted than you think, but when you actually pair it with some of the other background papers, you'll see how wonderful that actually looks. It looks together. Again, like I said, you get lots of color variation in here so that way, no matter what sort of style you're looking to create, what your theme is, your color palette, what you've chosen, you have all the complementative papers in order to work with that and complete your vision, basically. So background papers, there's 55 in here, people. So imagine how much that would cost in the craft store if these were all paper. You'd be looking at easily $60, $70 for that. Whereas in here, you can print them again and again. You can choose if you happen to, I cut this one and oh no, that was a favorite paper of mine. No problem. You can just go back to your computer and print another one for yourself. Very easy to do. Here's some of the more elegant toile patterns that you see in this kit in order to give you, like I said, that more refined or elegant look to the baby cards that you want to do. Into the elements, we see the baby blocks in the perfect colors in order to coordinate. We have the borders. Now we saw these on the bottom of that one border background paper, but here they are individually because we want to give you that creative freedom. You may see things that Mary Fran has clustered together or made, and you want the individual parts and pieces. There they are for you. Beautiful baby bottles in the floral, and then again in that toile pattern in order to give it that more elegant look. Very, very pretty bows. Very well done. As you can see again, how nice and pretty and gentle that looks. Buttons, obviously there's always a need for buttons in a kit because they provide, if you haven't used them before, they provide the perfect little element of color and shape. We sometimes have those areas in our cards and layouts that you think, it's a little bit plain over here. What else could I add in there? And then you add in another element and it looks too busy and you kind of leave it out and you think, it's maybe an 8 out of 10. I like it. Buttons are perfect for that. So are our ribbons that we'll come upon just a little later. And again, you'll see how I used ribbons in my card making idea. Sweet little elephant, but yet still done in that great style. It's not cutesy. It's not whimsical. It's done in that style in order to coordinate with the theme and feel of this kit. Floral clusters, always something beautiful to add in there. That gives it its gentle appeal, doesn't it? By adding things like that in there. Photo frames, I'm thinking you're going to have some photos when you have babies. Yeah, you may have 1, maybe 2, right? Here are some photo frames that give you, again, start you off in that path of elegance, but allows you to embellish further. Whether you want to put a blank tag down here and fill it in with a name, date, title, whatever it is. This was their first walk. It was that, here's the date of it, whatever the case may be. These are great jumping off points. Now, you're also going to see I use this exact frame, and I'm going to show it to you in the card, so just kind of remember that as we're going through this. You're going to see how I used a frame in a much different way. So I want to show you different ways that you can utilize these when you're creating. A beautiful title tag, Hello Baby, Moments and Memories to Cherish. Again, use these items when you're going through the kit. Just kind of pile them on a sheet, like whether you're using MS Word in order to resize these things, maybe using Mac Paint, maybe using Photoshop Elements or GIMP or something like that. Take some of these elements and think, oh, I really like that. Throw them onto a page, resize them a little bit so that they all fit so you don't get, convoluted, but throw them onto a page and that will give you your starting point for you if you're having some creative block. It's a great way in order to do it is throw the things that you love onto a page and then you can kind of work from it because, oh yeah, this blends with this and I can see how this would work together. It kind of gives you some creative ideas. I Love You to the Moon and Back. Again, Mary Fran gives you such wonderful journal cards. Hold her a little longer, rock her a little more. Like what a beautiful little sentiment in order to place into your cards and your layouts. It could be an insert. It could be a pull-out tag. There's so many things you can do with this. In order to utilize such a wonderful element like this, that Mary Fran has done all the work for us so that we just get the joy of placing it in and having the finished results. Again, journal cards. There are so many amazing moments that we don't want to forget a thing about, that these are fabulous to journal with. You can print these off so many times. You can use them digitally and write on them because obviously you have the ability in order to place your font and your sentences wherever you want. Multiple uses for these. Special memories, every moment with you is special. And here are some blank tags like I was talking about earlier, the blank journal strips we always give to you for 2 reasons. A, we want you to personalize things yourself and have exactly what you wanted it to say. And B, we recognize that not everybody has English as their first language. It is for us, and unfortunately, we know no other languages other than like je ne sais pas and the obvious words. But we want you to be able to personalize them for yourself. Our darling little one. Again, it just resonates that feel of the kit, which is so elegant and upscale that we want to include those things. Cherish, another beautiful label. This may be one that you may think, oh, this is exactly what I wanted to say is please cherish your child. This is a great tag in order to place on that piece of paper, like I said, when you begin creating, in order to know you want to work that in there. Hello Baby, special delivery. Baby girl, you fill our hearts with joy. Again, all done so well, but Mary Fran does the hard work for us so that we can just utilize these parts and pieces. month stickers. Obviously, a milestone album or a milestone card, because they're now 6 months and we want to celebrate all the milestone moments of the baby's life with the parents, being that maybe it's a niece, a nephew, maybe it's your own child, maybe it's your grandchild. We want to give you the items in order to celebrate each of those moments. Here are the first cards that I was talking about earlier. There is so much you can do with this kit. This kit can be used again and again and again and again, because you could make so many different cards with it. You could make so many different mini albums in such a different fashion for different segments of that first year. Same thing with scrapbook layouts, and to make a whole album. Look at the things that you have in here. My first haircut, my first word, my first steps, my first tooth, and a blank. The blank is in here so that way, again, there's a moment that you want to celebrate. We can't capture, obviously, every single moment and have them written in there for you for what your thinking was. So personalize these yourselves. Sweet little owls, again, great elements in order to add interest and intrigue to your cards and layouts. Beautiful prams, a really well done looking pram that has such detail and is, again, following in that same theme that we're trying to create. Same thing with the rattle. You can see how the difference between them and what our other cutesy kits for our baby albums are, or our baby kits are, that you can see how the difference works. The ribbons, I was speaking about that earlier, and I'll show you my card making example at the end. This is one of the ribbons that I used in my card making example, and you'll see how I built 3 of them. I used that one, and I also used that one. And I built 3 of them together, and you'll see how, hopefully you'll like the idea and maybe try it yourself. Cute little sailboat, again, something to add a little more interest. Same thing with the squares. Who loves you? A great element, and you can see how Mary Fran chose to use a frame, put a background paper behind it, use an element and fill it in with some words. That's also how you can use the photo frames, the blank ones that we give you. When you print them, all you have to do is cut out the center, obviously, and using them digitally, the photo frames are opaque behind, so you can just slide this stuff in behind. Very simple to do. Sweet teddy bear. And again, today is the first time I slept through the night. We want to give you the milestone items. I stood up by myself so that you can create a milestone album for this, the mom, for yourself, for your granddaughter, grandchild. These are so many. There's so many uses for this kit. I'm sure you'll be able to see this. As well, we gave you the blank one in here so that you can personalize it for the first time, whatever it is that appealed to you and that you wanted to celebrate. Welcome baby card. So on that day of the birth, we're not going to miss a single thing of that. There's a great record of it. And same thing for the year you were born. This is a great look back. How many of us kind of, you see those little booklets in the kitschy souvenir stores, and you all, let's find my year in that, or maybe you've done something like this for yourself. This is a great personalization so that as that child grows up, she'll be able to look back and say, wow, look at this is what happened in that year that I was born. So that's our FQB. Our Little Bits is our additional elements pack, and again, the additional elements are less parts and pieces, but more finished items, okay? And that's the point of the Little Bits, is Mary Fran has done all the work for us so that we can just simply place these in, have fabulous results. Look at something like this cluster. The top is so well done. The bottom is left open for you to personalize and journal on, place a photo on. You can do so many different things with that, but yet you get these fully done things. You can see this, how you could use this cluster, simply place a photo in here and on a nice, maybe that pastel floral background. There you go. You've got a scrapbook layout page or a card already done for you. It is so easy to work with the Little Bits. It's not even funny. It's a great starting place as well. If you want to use something like even the smallest one can change the world, a Peter Rabbit quote. Start out by using these things as your inspiration and knowing, again, throw them on a page. You can look at them all and say, oh yeah, these all go together. Oh, this one doesn't quite go in here. Okay, I'll delete that one. Okay, these are the ones I want to work with. Away I go. It makes the creating so much easier for you. Again, a beautiful quote that Mary Fran has filled in for us in order to complete our items so eloquently, and all the work is done for you. You just simply place that in. It gives, hopefully it's conveying the meaning, the sentiment, and the emotion that you're trying to convey. Adorable. And here are some journal strips that are fully complete for you with Precious One, Sweet Darling, Little Lady, Hushabye, Always Loved. Fabulous items that you can just plug right into your cards and layouts. Same thing with this label, This Precious Baby You Are Loved. A fabulous item that you, again, just as a starting point, you know that that's the badge that you want to use in order to begin your creation. And lastly, there's the squares again that give you such great creative appeal. So there's our little bits. Our paper packs, our additional paper packs, this is our 2 additional paper pack, and you will see the same patterns in here. We've seen this background paper before in the pattern, but not in this color range. And that is the difference for the additional paper packs. There's the 2 and then obviously the solids. But because we know you're going to want to create so many different items with this one kit, we want to make sure that you have every variation possible. And it also gives you the ability in order to create multiple items that all coordinate so well together. This is the color coordinates in order to fulfill the rest of your creative ability in here. So that's the 2 paper pack. Our solids actually are a beautiful paper on their own. You see the damask border around the edges. Fabulous paper to start working with because you have so much blank space and you can have such creative freedom with them. But if you wanted to just use them, they do work like digital cardstock. We always want full color match, perfect color match for you. And that is the point of giving you the solids in these paper packs. So that's our solid pack. And lastly is our alpha. Some of those cards that we saw earlier on, the My Baby's First or the First Time I, this gives you an alpha in order to have names, dates, titles, whatever it is, the emotions, how much you felt love that day. We've even given you a blank one in there so that you can put a letter on there if you wish. The alphas are so incredibly useful. Don't miss out on using these. They really add such punctuation and such life to your creations, even if it is just initials. You wanted to use, okay, their initials are MK. Well, you want to just put those 2 things in there. It is a subtle addition, but it has such impact. Don't forget about using the alphas. The alphas are fabulous items to use. And so obviously you get a full numbers, some punctuation, and a full set of lowercase alpha. So folks, that is it. And to give you a little further inspiration, here is the digital scrapbook layout that Mary Fran created. This is a full 12 by 12 layout, and you can see how full this is. It gives you such amazing things to look at. There's so much interest to it that it doesn't take away from the photo. It adds to the whole range because there is so much going on. And when having a baby, there's so much change all the time. Now, you can use this to scrap lift and make one exactly identical. Just away you go. You can see how things are placed in. You can see the size and scale of everything. Or you can just use a part of this. If you liked this little area down in the bottom corner with the 11 months, the I love you to the moon and back, and the beautiful sentiment tag in there, you could just use that little part and think, oh, I really like that, and that would work perfect on my card or down the side of my layout, and then maybe I'll tuck a photo in. Use these as inspiration for you. That's kind of the point of why we do them, is we hopefully give you some creative ideas. In my card making idea, this top, here's the pastel paper, okay, just for starters. So as I mentioned to you earlier, it may look a little light, but when you place it in with some darker background papers, it really kind of pops out. Secondly, the band across the top and the bottom, that is actually a frame where I've made it so large that you don't see the sides. I cut them off so that way I could just use those swashes of paper. So you can see how you can use the frame in so many different ways. So get creative with them. Put on your thinking cap and get creative. Lastly, here are the 3 ribbons that I was talking about. When you see the ribbons in our kit and you think, oh, I don't know what to do with those. Yeah, they always include ribbons or they always include buttons. This is why. You can see how easily you can stack that up, but you don't have to cut little strips of paper that are already done for you. You can resize them so that they fit on there nicely or whatever the case may be. but you can see how they add such interest to that little area of the paper. That is kind of always the crux and the figuring when you're creating is, okay, I like what I started with, but this is kind of boring over here. How do I get a little life and a little bit more color in there? And that's a great way and a great idea on how to use those ribbons. So thanks for tuning into our video. Again, this is our bundled Hello Baby Girl collection, and there is a Hello Baby Boy as well. So if you are creating and seeing this video and looking for the baby boy, there certainly is a matching baby boy version as well. Thanks for tuning in, but before you leave, please click on the Nitwit Collections logo that you see down in the right-hand corner of this screen in order to subscribe to our channel to be made aware of when new videos are released. As well, give us the thumbs up if you like the video, and also leave us a comment if you'd like to say something about the kit, how it maybe inspired you, maybe what you're going to create with it, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down there. Thanks once again for tuning in, and happy creating with this beautiful baby girl kit.